Hey, Whiskey Fancies, I'm Chris.
And I'm Kara.
Kara, what do we have today?
We have OKI Blended Bourbon Whiskey. OKI Reserve comes at 100 proof. This is batch 1. So apparently OKI stands for Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana.
Okay.
I have a complaint.
Oh.
All of this whiskey is distilled in Indiana.
That's just the name of the brand. They had other stuff before. Just don't be a shit talker when you only have the one bottle from them. You don't know what preceded it.
Okay.
Okay? Leave the shit talking to me, because that's my profession, apparently.
Okay.
Stay out of that. This is batch 1, so I'm hoping they're going to have other batches, because it sounds intriguing, because they got 5 different mash bills of MGP on here. And they are so transparent about this that I love this. And calling you out other blenders, you should do this too. Because it's all telling you the fill date, the percentage of what's in the bottle or this batch of that particular fill date. And they give you the mash bill. They basically give you everything except for the birth certificate. So I think that's really cool. It says the high rye bourbon says 3 to 8 years old, but everything else is 8, 9, and 10 years. So I bet you it's probably gonna be delicious, because the high rye bourbon, it has 2 different ones. So the one that's young is only 0.2%. So the 3 years gonna be 0.2%.
So that's very low.
Like, really? Like, that's just like not even.
But that's why it's not age stated, because they ran the gamut in the ages
Yep.
of blending. So I find it to be a really light nose, but there's a little woody spice on the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get... Okay, I don't know why, but I want it to smell like grape. Do you get dark grapes?
I don't actually.
Okay, I think I want that.
I'm getting confused. Like, I smelled, it was almost kind of like a sweet high rye bourbon.
Yep.
But then I went back in again and it went away, and now it's just all sweet. And then with wood, it's almost like, like a toasted wood, but without the vanilla.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, I'm so
smells
aggressively
good.
sniffing in, but I'm getting a lot of alcohol. I think my nose is just playing tricks on me today. This is not the first pour that has burned my nose.
Did you trim your nose hairs?
I did, so maybe that's why.
That's why. It just...
I should have left those filtrations in there.
You should have left the forest there. It wouldn't go through.
Yep.
Shouldn't machete them.
I'm going to get in this.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to have to go back again. Hold on.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Drink it again.
So, shut up. Okay.
You know how sometimes when you do the first one and you go back on the second one, it kind of just goes away?
Evolves.
No.
Mm-mm. What do you get?
I get a lot of things at once, but there's an over...
Oh, there it is again. So you know how I said I was getting this dark grapey note?
Mm-hmm.
I taste it. It's right in the beginning of the, like, right at the start of the mid palate, and then it comes again and comes back. It comes back again on the finish.
I could see that, but I wouldn't have picked it out as grape. But now that you said it, and I'm
or
like, now it's in my mind, like, oh yeah.
Maybe not just like grapes, but maybe either something dark plum, or some kind of cooked stewed fruit that's super dark deliciousness. To me, I say grape. It's not always like grape the fruit. It could be some kind of coulis, some kind of, if you're cooking. Does that make sense? But it's right in the beginning of the mid palate to me, and then it comes back on the finish.
In the glass,
and then there's that. It's got high rye bourbon in it, and the finish has got a nice little spice. Mm-hmm. This is up.
How much is how much of the 95.5 rye is in here? Only 12.2%. Because it's like a bourbon, but if it made babies with old pepper, to me. Right? Mm-hmm. It almost has like sort of like a special release of like those old peppers that drink more like a bourbon. But that 95.5.
I like that profile.
I like this, but it goes kind of weird, but weird, and I'm totally into weird.
Yeah.
That it's really good, but it's not off-putting at all. I could see somebody who doesn't like a traditional rye that's like maybe minty or herbally, like totally digging this, because it doesn't have that to me. This is more of like a bourbon, and I'm wondering if this light whiskey helps part it out because it's 23.7% light whiskey. I'm not getting too much of that light whiskey on it.
What do you perceive as light whiskey?
That really sweet butterscotch.
Yeah.
The ones that we've had.
Right.
I'm thinking that kind of plays well with the other mash bills, that it's not so overpowering.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's providing the sweetness that we get. That's more of like, not a toasted vanilla. It's something that I can't. It's not butterscotch though for me.
When you say toasted vanilla, I actually did get almost like a toasted quality barrel right on the end. Dusty barrel?
Sort of.
No,
Yeah.
it's almost toasted. That's weird.
There's a little bit of dusty wood on it though.
There's one we have a double oaked product that sometimes to me comes across oaky, and then sometimes it's toasty oak, and that's what that finish reminds me of. Yeah. And then it comes back with a rye spice. Yeah. Not clovey. Like I get clove in 95.5 ryes. It's not that. It's more dry cinnamon. Dry cinnamon.
This drinks. To me, if I didn't know what the mash bill or the percentage or the ages, I would guess that it was older, and I wouldn't have known any of these combinations together would have been. I would have been like,
high rye bourbon.
It's a high rye bourbon, but different. Like they use a different cooperage or char with a stage. Yeah, something along those lines. There's parts that you can pick out knowing the information, but going into it without that information, you're like, oh, this is different, but you might not know why it's different. I like it. The more you keep drinking it, the more it just grows on you, and it's not like I didn't like it, but it's growing onto you like, oh, this is a dangerous bottle. I might finish it fast.
So the more I drink it, the more it's noticeably not grape. It's deeper, darker, stewed fruit, but it's... The more you drink it, the fruitiness becomes more generic.
This is almost...
For my palate.
Okay, we've had a lot of different... Not a lot, but we've had a wide range of different Eagle Rares, right?
Yes.
Been the grapey, the woody, that kind of stuff.
The weird musty corn one, which I didn't like.
Yeah, that was weird. So I bet you if you put all of those Eagle Rares, you actually become probably one of these.
If Eagle Rare wasn't watered down.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. There's a lot of qualities and a lot of variances.
That woody aged 10-year bourbon quality that Eagle Rare definitely has. I get it on the nose. Yeah. I get it on the nose. Because the picks and like you said, Eagle Rare varies so greatly. Yeah. That's why I get a little bit of it here.
And that's what stuck out in my mind when you said grape, and then the more I drink it, I was like, oh, that reminds me of that really woody Eagle Rare we had. Or like, oh, it reminds me of this musty corn one we had, but I'm not getting musty corn, but there's a note in it where I was like, oh, it's almost like not sawwood, it's like a toasty vanilla.
It's in between. With wood. Yeah, like I said, I was getting that toasted barrel dry cinnamon thing, but a tinge of corn. There's corn whiskey in here. Yeah. I'm not getting notes of overly like sweet corn or anything like that.
It's there, but you'd really have to just pick it out because everything else kind of just.
I don't think it's young enough for me to taste corn.
Blends. Like, it kind of goes in this weird, not like a crazy roller coaster, but like a gentle roller coaster. Where it
just starts out, Disneyland?
It's a Disneyland roller coaster. Yeah. So it's not like, a Six Flags or something like that.
Yeah, you're not going to lose your glasses or your dentures.
No.
You'll be okay.
You just have a lap bar. You don't need the full-on, over-the-shoulder support. Yep. I like it.
I get a lot of spice right in the beginning with the sweetness, too. That's the rye spices that came to play it's all over that roller coaster. I like spicy bourbons that don't go black pepper, so this is my jam.
I really love this. It feels like an old bourbon married in a special release of old pepper, and they just kind of there's something about it that reminds me of some of those like finest Kentucky oak peppers.
It's probably the toasted barrel.
Something about it, yeah, because those don't really drink like a normal rye.
They're special,
but
in our opinion,
I like those. But it's just, and then it has more of a bourbon-y with the corn and stuff like that. It's just, I really like it, and the MSRP is $79.99. You can't beat that. That's what we found it for, and I could see this probably going a lot higher.
I don't know how much I would pay extra for it. Maybe that first bottle I'll pay a little above retail, but
you'd have to like really like it. I really like it.
But if I put this against one of your top favorites, would be like a Rebel 10.
You can't even, because that's a completely different profile.
Okay.
If you put this against the Old Pepper Kentucky Finest Oak, that would be really hard.
That one's sweeter.
Depends which batch. It's about to.
I think this is a nice blend.
This is a perfect.
Right in the middle.
Yes.
I love this.
I like it, and I can see a lot of people might not. But if somebody's not into the herbally dill rye,
I think you should try
mint
it.
rye.
It's a rye bourbon.
Yeah, but it doesn't have those flavors in here to me, and I'm very sensitive to those.
Yeah.
I like this.
Oh my goodness. I think this is amazing. The only gripe I have...
For $80, I like it.
Yeah.
For what's in this, and it's so transparent.
One of my favorite things about this is they took the time to label this extensively. So I love that. Have you guys had a chance to try a batch of this OKI Reserve? Mm-hmm. If you have, give us a comment below telling us what you thought about it. Do you love the complete transparency on the back? While you're down there, give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing with our channel. Subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications so you can join us in our next video. Well, I don't know about you, but I absolutely fancy this whiskey.
I fancy this whiskey.
All right,
cheers.
cheers.